The self-proclaimed President of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, arrived in St. Petersburg to meet with terrorist Putin. The two dictators went to Volam, an island in the northern part of Lake Ladoga. On the island there is the Volam Stavropegic monastery, and these so-called leaders of Russia and Belarus have been visiting Volam together for several years. In 2019, 2023, and 2024, Lukashenko and Putin in mid-July, or in the last days of July, they constantly visited this island. Last year, in Volam, they discussed a new oil pricing formula. Look how happy they are to see each other. By the way, Putin looks very interesting here. We will also talk about this. This year, Lukashenko also noted that there would be a need for them to talk about the issue of oil supplies. It was necessary to somehow settle this issue. And they say that they will talk about it at a meeting with Putin. But before their informal meeting began, Putin and Lukashenko, as in previous years, entered the church of the Smolensk icon of the Mother of God, where monks pray for the Russian occupiers who kill Ukrainians and who died at different times. After this short prayer service, held in the presence of Putin and Lukashenko, they seem to continue their informal communication. As I have already said, Putin and Lukashenko traditionally visit the Transfiguration Monastery on Karelian Island in the summer and hold informal conversations there. And so, let's take a closer look at the photo where they stood, prayed for the occupiers. And I wonder what they look like. I understand that this is an informal meeting, but look, Lukashenko really looks like he is in some kind of uniform leaning against Putin. And this terrorist, did he go to church in jeans? Something unexpected from Putin, you know. He always shouts about how everyone should go to church, and about traditional values, and about everything that is possible. And it is not clear what he leaned against the church to hold the candle. But that's not all. The most important thing is that it took place, or rather, literally at these moments, the same informal meeting is taking place. And now I will show you a photo that shows how this informal meeting takes place. Look at this three. Why I say three? Because Lukashenko, his favorite dog, and Putin. But this terrorist who threatens the whole world. Just take a look at it. It seems to me that this photo is very revealing, and it is very picturesque. Especially if you look at how Putin looks, how he sits, how he speaks, all these postures and gestures of his. It's just an unhappy person. Here he is some kind of really Kremlin dwarf who is afraid of everything in the world, and as if Lukashenko is oppressing him here. I say what I think. It seems to me that this is so. But you see, they decided to talk about everything important in the world. Last year, as Lukashenko noted, following the meeting between Moscow and Minsk, they seemed to be able to find an understanding on all the issues discussed. And Peskov, Putin's mouth, noted that Russian dictator Putin and Belarusian dictator Lukashenko will hold an informal meeting, which will discuss the entire range of bilateral relations and international issues. There will be informal communication between Putin and Lukashenko, after which the entire range of bilateral relations, natural and trade economic ties and the implementation of union projects will be discussed. By the way, they may send Oreshnik to the territory of Belarus. This is also their allied project. They will also discuss, according to Peskov, they will have a deep exchange of views on international issues. But what kind of international problems are these, you ask? These are, of course, new statements by Donald Trump, who threatens to impose secondary sanctions, duties against those countries that buy oil and gas from Russia, as well as other energy resources. We understand that this is a large share of the Russian budget. If now, in exchange for sanctions, those countries, or rather vice versa, if those countries agree not to cooperate with Moscow, then they will not have sanctions. If they want to have access to American markets, then they have no other option than either accept Trump's tariffs, agree to 100% tariffs, or refuse Russian oil. By the way, Russian propaganda media are already reporting that they have begun to answer journalists' questions, by the way, right on the same bench on which they were just sitting. There are no loud statements yet, but Putin thanked Lukashenko for visiting him. He says that it is on such a day when all the victims who laid down their lives for the homeland are remembered. He again emphasized that it is their tradition to go to this island.